Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I'm here today with Lily Zuckerman. Lily is new to the show. Do you want to introduce yourself just for the audience?
Yes. My name is Lily Zuckerman. I'm a freshman at University of Austin, Texas, which is the new, um, like Barry Weiss University in Austin, Texas. It's meritocratic and more conservative in its academic approach. Um, I met Richard through mutual friends, and I thought I thought a movie review of this movie, Materialist, would elicit some interesting discussion about dating and women and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. And you started out at a different school, right?
Right. I started out at Barnard College. I left. I thought. I mean, there are a number of reasons why I left, but I observed that Barnard and Columbia more broadly wasn't really um fulfilling either of the explicit or implicit promises that it makes to its students. Um, it doesn't really like it doesn't really teach you the same way it might have used to give you like a very rigorous education, and more importantly, it doesn't really offer the same kind of like career opportunities I think it used to. Like some of my friends who were graduating uh, with like major distinctions, summa cum laude and stuff, like still couldn't find a job and had to go to law school or accept a much lower salary than they would have might have expected. So yeah, I just thought UATX seemed new and interesting and small, which is nice. There's less competition to distinguish yourself.
You're coming in as like a junior, right?
I'm coming in as a freshman, but we'll see if I can graduate in less than 4 years. They
Mm,
can't accept transfer credits because they're not accredited yet, although they do expect to be accredited within the next few years.
hmm And so, okay, so you're a student there, and you're a freshman, and this is like the second class,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's one class ahead of me, and there's a total of like 150, maybe more, like 170 students.
170 students in both classes.
Yeah,
Okay, so there's like 80 something of
yeah,
you. And then there are no graduate programs, are there yet?
correct.
Okay, cool. So you are on the ground floor. You are one of a select
Yes.
170 who is actually a real life flesh and blood UATX student. That's exciting. That's being part of something new.
Yes. And maybe I'll I mean, it really only just began, so I don't have like that much to say about it yet, but maybe I will in the future.
Okay, cool. Well, great. I mean, that's all interesting, but we're here to discuss Materialists, which you wanted to talk about, which is a movie from 2025. I said I'd give it a chance and then I would see. And it was intriguing enough to keep paying attention to it. I wasn't like, enamored with it. It was okay. I think it was culturally and anthropologically very interesting. And so the director is a woman named Celine Song. I looked this up. So this is a Korean woman. Is she a
Yeah.
lesbian? She looks like a lesbian.
She's not actually. She's like married or maybe in a life partnership with some other creative
Okay. And is
white.
this a famous director? Has she produced other things that have had success?
She produced this movie. She directed this movie that I haven't seen. It's Past Lives. It's
Hmm.
about like Asian. It's about being Asian American. So I didn't see it because it's not that interesting to me. But she is like a yeah. The reason I saw this movie, and I agree with you, it wasn't that exciting. Like on the level of plot or like direction or any of that. But I did think that there were it did seem to reflect our culture today in interesting ways. I went to see it because Dasha's in it.
Hmm.
That's what grabbed my attention about it at first. She has like a bit part. I don't know if you remember. She's like the
Yeah,
friend in
yeah.
the office.
She's like the friend that they talk
Yeah,
about for narrative purposes. Yeah.
yeah. Dasha did great in it. But but yeah, I thought this might be a good like kind of like dating discourse
Yeah.
thing to
No,
look
I
at.
think it definitely serves. that role. So like what were your so the plot is basically it's a very simple plot. There's Dakota Johnson. She looked familiar. It's the girl from 50 Shades of Grey. I think that's what she's
Yeah.
most famous for. She's in her like mid-30s now in the movie. And she's a matchmaker who goes around setting people up in this New York City, right? And it's it's kind of cliche. It's cliche in a way. It's like there's the rich guy, and then there's the a poor guy who's like a waiter who voted for Bernie Sanders and whose life is not his life is not going on. What did you think when they said I voted for Bernie? Like, well, why did they put that in there?
I think the director slash writer is probably a huge leftist, and like,
He was the good guy, so he gets the
yeah,
Birdie. So Birdie is he's the character we're supposed to sympathize with. So he's
yes.
poor. He's the fantasy of the working class coalition of the Sanders movement. Okay. Anyways, spoilers here. Going to be spoilers like all movie reviews. What did you find interesting as far as like the dating discourse and what this movie showed?
Um, well, I thought it did actually reflect pretty accurately like how dishonest women are about like what they want, and I'm like they're like pretty dishonest with both themselves and others about what they really want, and um they're actually like more picky than men are about like men's appearance and like lifestyle and everything. Uh what else was like interesting about it? Uh
Are they
I
are
thought
they Are they dishonest in the movie? Because it seems to be that they're very honest. They just come out and they say, I want this height and I want this race. And that seems to be like Dakota Johnson, Lucy's her name in the movie. She's sitting there and she's feeling guilty about it. Like, why are these people so superficial? Why don't they look beyond and see what's inside the person? It seemed like it was like being against. It seemed like it was judging the characteristics women uh, wanted. It didn't seem to be faulting them for dishonesty.
true, true. Although like um Lucy the main character like isn't really honest with herself about like what she wants out of a man. Like she gets the one who's like perfect according to her metrics, and and like he's somehow not good enough for her. Um
You're saying so you're saying uh, Harry is the
yeah.
one where she's to be honest with herself she would want Harry, but then she really didn't.
Well, she wants like the like loser one. That's clear from
Hmm.
the beginning that they
Yeah,
that like she still like loves him. Um I mean, I thought like what was more interesting about this is that like the movie like has the added like has a negative attitude toward like the matchmakers and everything, like, but I think that the matchmakers um have basically the right attitude toward dating. Like it's you should be empirical about this, and like you should uh you should approach it like mathematically and empirically, and like try to like optimize things rather than like have this like nebulous concept of like love that you're always chasing.
yes. So the I saw the movie as a kind of I feel like in the last maybe couple years, uh discourse around dating has just become a lot more honest. Like I don't think height was always like in this movie they treat okay, height is just this big thing where every woman is thinking about all the time. Now, like 20 years ago, I don't think it was like this. It was like obviously everyone knew to be taller was better. But now I think that people are just saying like if you're, if you're 5'7" or something, you're just kind of it's hopeless. And if you're 6 feet tall, uh everything is made for you. And maybe it was always like that, and maybe that's true. I don't know if we're getting more honest or we're getting where these looks for men and these kind of checkbox qualities matter more, maybe because of internet dating or changes in the culture or whatever. So yeah, the height thing is interesting, and then the equivalency for women is age, where the men want, that centers around the that woman Zoe, who's Sophie's client, who is 39, and nobody wants to date her. because she's too old. And so yeah, like this kind of brutal honesty is is something new. I think it's kind of post woke, and something that's just popped up in the last few years.
Do you think that the height thing has to do with black people? Like, is that like a like
They're looking for basketball players. What are you talking about?
because I feel like the hairline thing is kind of a black people thing that like
Wait, what
kind
hairline? They want a man with hair. What does that have to do with because they blacks? No, explain.
of um like I feel like the obsession with hairline like seems like some kind of like importation from like black culture
So
with
yeah, keep explaining. I don't understand.
um like I just feel like did people ever like did white people ever talk about like a guy's hairline before like the last decade or two?
I mean, the like people like it was always the case that if you were bald, if you
Yeah.
go Seinfeld 1990s, George would say, I'm bald, I'm short. It would be like a recurring joke that one reason he was what he unappealing was because he was bald, right? So that was always a thing. Hair was good, and so hairline just seems to be like more gradation in the baldness instead of it being a dichotomy. It's like is your hairline good or is it receding? I never heard it. Like, is that something black people talk about a lot? I've never.
Yeah, like I mean, like with like LeBron James and his
Well,
like
that's what I was thinking about. Yes, I think yes. So you used to watch Inside the NBA? Is that where you got this?
no, it was just like a meme like on the internet. Like
Okay, I think it started Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith. They would make fun of him because he would have a headband, and then they would say every year it went further back because his hairline was receding, so he'd cover his hairline. This was just a funny joke. They were making fun of him, but I mean, it's interesting. This is where you got this, but I don't know if it's actually about black people. I think they were just making fun of LeBron James.
okay,
Yeah,
like
unless you have other evidence that this is a black people thing rather than just a LeBron James joke.
well, black women also have like hairline issues, but like I mean, I don't know. It just seems like the height thing too is just like yeah in like the '90s and earlier. Like, did people ever talk about like oh he's 6'1"? I need a man
No,
who's
no, they
six
never
one.
talk like that. I think this is internet. I think this is internet dating because I think people are going to their profiles and they're like picking a height and so forth, and they've got this checklist mentality. I think it's from that. I don't know if black people were ever more into height or less into height, but it always mattered. But yeah, I think this kind of checklist mentality is like a completely new thing.
Yes.
Because we used to say like tall, dark, and handsome. Like that was like a saying. And dark did not mean black because it was so normalized in like the 1990s and 2000s for people only to date within their race. So dark just meant like I don't know, like a kind of a suave guy, like Don Draper or something like that. It didn't mean like a black guy or an Indian guy or something. But it was like tall, dark, and it was just like general guidelines. It wasn't. We didn't use numbers nearly as well. Like the 6 foot, it's funny. I saw some kind of study or something where they showed like there was some other country which had like a system where the cutoff was like 5'10" or something. I don't remember what it was. They used maybe the metric system or something. And so women's preference was like based on the arbitrary cutoff because six is a nice even number, like not 5'11" or 5'10. That becomes kind of the standard. But yeah, I think this is like internet. I think this is what internet dating has done to people. I don't know. Internet dating seems like all forms of dating are on the decline, but it seems
Yeah.
like it's not even that anymore.
But I mean, women IRL, like I mean, they do have the filters on their they do have the filters on their Hinge profile to filter out like 5'10" and below, which is disastrous in my opinion. But
They'll just say they're 5'10", but I guess that has to be plausible, right? So like if you go 5'10", then you have to think like 5'7". You're gonna get 5'7" because everyone's gonna lie 2 or 3 inches, right? So if you want 6 feet, you should probably put 6'2", but then you look kind of crazy if you want 6'2" because there's not a lot of 6'2" men out there.
yeah, I mean, I think men who are like 5'11" or something like should just lie about their height to to get past the like 6 foot
Yeah, although I
threshold.
don't, I don't, I don't like the internet. I think you can. I think you could just be. Yeah, I think you could just be aggressive in real life. I mean, I think that that's your best bet. If you don't meet the checklist, it's fine. Just kind of go for it. And there's like not as much competition in real life. Um, But yeah, this movie is, I think like there was like this woke period where like for 10 years it was like everybody is trans and everybody is like kind of gender ambiguous. And then it's like now we have kind of the streamer world where men and women are going into their own corners in the internet.
Mm.
And OnlyFans, it's like people realize like